The Alpha Horizon. Thinking different. Acting aware.
Hi, I'm Silvia Merler, Head of Research at the Algebris Policy and Research Forum. And today we're going to talk about the quantitative easing programs that the European Central Bank has enacted in response to the COVID-19 crisis.
Which and how many quantitative easing programs have been implemented this year by the European Central Bank?
The main quantitative easing program by the European Central Bank is called APP, or Asset Purchase Program, and it was initiated in 2015 and terminated almost in 2019. Before the outbreak of COVID-19 and at the end of February 2020, the ECB was holding about 2.6 trillion in securities purchased under APP. And APP has now been reactivated in response to the crisis, meaning that the ECB will carry out 320 billion more purchases under this program in 2020. However, the most important novelty in ECB's monetary policy in response to this crisis has been the introduction of PEPP, or the Pandemic Emergency Purchase Program, which will be worth about 900 billion in 2020. Close to 60-70% of all these purchases will focus on government debt. And what is relevant in particular about PEPP is the fact that the ECB has explicitly stated it will implement this program in a more flexible manner compared to the previous asset purchase programs.
Which countries have benefited most from these monetary policy choices implemented by the ECB?
The country that's been benefiting the most from this new ECB's approach to flexibility certainly is Italy. If we look at the darkest month of the health emergency, so March and April 2020, Italy accounted for about 30 to 35% of ECB's government debt purchases, which is actually a lot more than Italy's capital key in the ECB's capital, around 16 to 17%. This means that there has been an imbalance geographically in ECB's purchases that has been favoring Italy at a time when the country was facing the highest stress on the markets.
Can we expect this type of approach to continue in the future? And if yes, how?
Flexibility is a very sensitive topic from a political standpoint in Europe, so PEPP is likely to be challenged in a way similar to what happened to previous ECB's programs, particularly before the German Constitutional Court. When we look at the data, what we see is that the geographical imbalance that was favoring Italy during the first month of the COVID pandemic has actually been reduced during the summer and almost completely reabsorbed by end of September. So it looks like this flexibility is going to be temporary. One important thing to keep in mind, however, is the fact that ECB's language has changed remarkably compared to previous crises, and it points towards a much more reactive and need-based ECB monetary policy conception going forward. Thank you for being with us today on this podcast, and we hope to have you back for a new episode and more insights from our Policy and Research Forum.
The Alpha Horizon. Thinking different. Acting aware.